Welcome to Get to Know the Speakers of Digital Confex. Today we have with us Charu Sethi, CMO at Unique Network. She will be joining as a speaker on the topic Building Trust in a Privacy World, the next era of ethical marketing during the 5th Digital Marketing, Advertising and Technology Confex happening in Singapore on 15th April 2025. Hi Charu, welcome to the chat show.
Hi, Ayush. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah, it's our pleasure to have you in our chat show, Charu. So please give us a brief introduction of yourself and your field of expertise for our audience.
Sure. Where do I start? Okay. As you mentioned, I'm the CMO and I also drive business and product at Unique Network. Unique Network is NFT infrastructure company, and one of the or few of the use cases that we are focused on are around customer loyalty, fan engagement, and across entertainment, media, and retail industries. I very much align with the topic on ethical marketing, and some of our use cases are based on that. So that's what I do now. Before this, I've spent 8 years with IBM in marketing roles and strategy consulting for 4 years before that. I have been passionate about the confluence of marketing technology and new and emerging technologies in specific. So that's been my background, and I have done marketing both in the Web 2 world, which was more B2B, and in the Web 3 world, which is a bit different, which is B2B and B2C as well.
Yeah, I think it's great knowing you and your vast experience in different fields. So, how excited are you for our event?
Oh, very excited. I love it when there are good events happening in Singapore. It's easy to attend, easy to engage with participants before and after the conference. And Singapore is a great place to kind of bring the region together and organize these regional events. So I'm looking forward to it.
So, moving forward, I have a few questions for you today. My first question is, why does a privacy first approach matter in today's digital landscape?
Yeah, so I think the focus on privacy, and it has been a hot conversation for many years now. In fact, in my previous life before Web3, this was a topic of equal importance back then as well. And numerous companies have tried to study uh, consumer behavior patterns around data sharing and privacy. And every report suggests that consumers value privacy. And they were not aware before, but as they have started to become aware, there are more and more um, conscious of when and how their data is shared. In fact, according to, I have an interesting stat I observed, which I've made a note here, that according to Cisco 2023 report, 95% of the consumers said that they would not purchase products and services from a company if they had serious concerns about their data privacy systems and practices. As well as another report by Salesforce, which was in 2023, very recent again, says that 88% of the customers cite trust, which is how the data is handled, as a very important factor in brand loyalty. So, I mean, purchase and brand loyalty are the direct metrics that are being impacted now because the customer is aware, and they value transparency. They value knowing that it's important for them and for the company they want to associate themselves with. So it's, I think, of paramount importance because within an industry, it is also becoming a competitive advantage and a differentiating factor. So I'll pause there. And does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think you explained very nicely with the good example, I would say, how brand loyalty is made, like how customers right now are first checking for the privacy for the site they are using. So my next question is, why is it important for businesses to prioritize ethical marketing in today's privacy-first environment?
Yes. So I would say that again, as consumers are becoming more and more aware, and according to Gartner prediction, there was a few years ago, they said that by 2024, 75% of global customers will be covered by some regulation or the other around data privacy, right? 75%. And I'm pretty sure it's close to that number, or maybe I wouldn't be surprised if it's more than that. So given that most companies are operating in the purview of these regulations and they have to comply by these regulations, I think it's kind of critical to their existence, especially when the cost associated or with taking a risk on that, right? The kind of fines that a company has to pay are significantly higher. And in fact, I think there was another research which said that uh, the cost of complying or cost of fines has gone up significantly in 2023. And it used to be 10% before, and in 2024, it's significantly higher. So I think that is a risk that the companies cannot afford to take, in addition to everything I said above. So that's where companies are kind of, it's not a good to have system, but it's almost a hygiene check now.
I think you ended it very nice with quote, I would say, like it's important to use. So my next question is, you are in Web3 space. So how do you see changes in marketing in the near future?
Yeah, I think Web3 brings a very interesting shift in privacy and your own data and a data ownership perspective, right? And it changes in different ways. So it's a very different way of thinking. Essentially, it starts off with the paradigm that your customer owns the data, right? The data is not owned by another server or another third party, and all of those things, and especially when the cookies are third party cookies are disappearing. So the data sits with the customer, and it's a direct relationship between the customer and the brand. And how this happens is that a customer will usually own their own identity, and it's called termed as self-sovereign identity. This is through the DID projects and companies who create these identities, and these identities are linked maybe linked to a wallet. Now, through this identity, they own and manage their own data around preferences, around their personal information, email IDs, contact details, their browsing history, and all of that, right? So this blockchain enables them to have their self-sovereign identity through which they own and manage their data. Now, when that happens, it allows companies to directly engage with the customer on incentive mechanisms, right? And companies can directly award NFTs or tokens into the account or the wallet of the customer, provided the customer gives permission to use that data. And this can be very I have seen companies, one of my friends is working on a project like that, where data sharing is such an enjoyable experience. It's almost gamified, right? It's kind of a marketplace where a company comes looking for the data, you get a notification, and it's very clear. It's not 1,000 lines of fine print. It very clearly gives you drop-down options. If you want to share this, or this, or this, and then you process the transaction and you get the rewards, right? over 80%, I read somewhere that over 80% of the customers are willing to share information provided they know it's a transparent kind of a transaction. They know how their data will be used. And because in return, they're happy to receive personalized recommendations and things like that. If they know very well where the data is used. And Web3 allows companies to directly incentivize the user for sharing data. So it's kind of a win-win situation. So while we can go down the rabbit hole, but maybe we keep that for the conference. There's a lot to talk about there. It has a big impact on the way the future websites will be structured with wallets embedded, which is where the transaction will take place. And the Brave browser is a very good example of that.
I think our audience will be looking forward for the session and the things you will talk about regarding Web3 and all the things. So I have prepared some rapid fire questions also. So my first
Okay,
question is, what's one big change you would like to see in your industry in the next 5 years?
data ownership.
Great. Okay. So any dream collaboration of yours that you would love to do anywhere around the world?
All right. So while I'm in the NFT space, and I would love to engage with a sports celebrity maybe
Okay.
for a fan engagement solution using NFTs and drive their loyalty.
Okay. So what's your secret to staying creative and motivated in such a fast-paced environment?
I think it's just this environment that motivates me. It's the every day there is something new to learn, to catch up on. So that has been the single biggest motivator for me when there is new learning opportunities that drives me forward.
Thanks, Charu. It was great connecting with you, and I am thrilled with your excitement to join our conference. So, any words for our participants who will be joining in the conference?
No, looking forward to meeting you all in person, and I hope you make the best of the conference and the content shared there.
Great. Thanks for your time today, and to all the participants. Don't miss our session happening in 5th DMAT Confex on 15th April in Singapore. Get a great chance to connect with her in person. See you soon.
Thank you. See you.